Something that a lot of people don't realize is that glory isn't given to you, it's earned. As far as the greatest boxers of all time are concerned, a couple famous names pop in our head, but very few have made it up to this list. From the thunderous punches of the heavyweights to the lightning-fast jabs of the welterweights, these mentioned gladiators have left an indelible mark on the sport. You are watching the top 10 unmatched and greatest boxers to ever walk this planet ranked and explained. Roberto Duran, commonly referred to as Manos de Piedra, or Hands of Stone, is celebrated for his raw power and ferocious boxing style. His flexible punching and his punching power, coupled with his ability to pressurize and march down his opponents, kept him in the sport for over 30 years. Duran started his boxing career at the early age of 16, quickly making a name for himself. Growing up in poverty, he found solace and purpose in boxing. Little did he know he was a star in the making. His professional debut saw him defeat Carlos Mendoza in a first-round knockout. This explosive win set up his path for a glamorous career with strings of victories to come. By 1972, just 4 years into his career, he would be seen with 27 consecutive wins. The biggest break in his career came when he faced Ken Buchanan at the Madison Square Garden for the WBA Lightweight Championship. This fight went the distance, with Duran's attacks resulting in a 13th round knockout, earning him his first world title. Duran continued to dominate the lightweight division, defending his title many more times to come. His next significant move was moving up to the welterweight division to challenge the then undefeated Sugar Ray Leonard in the famous Brawl in Montreal fight, which saw him lead to a unanimous decision victory. However, their rematch on November later that year saw Duran walking away from the fight saying, "No mas or no more," giving Leonard the win. Despite this major setback, Duran continued to fight. His career saw him fighting well into his 40s, a testament to his enduring passion for the sport. At the age of 50, he fought his final professional fight against Hector Camacho. Shortly after, a car accident in Argentina led to his retirement, ending an illustrious career spanning 119 fights, with an impressive record of 103 wins, 70 by knockout. Sublimely skilled, Sugar Ray Leonard parlayed his Olympic gold medal into becoming the post-Muhammad Ali face of boxing. Sugar Ray Leonard's journey from a timid boy to a boxing legend is a captivating tale of dedication. His interest in boxing sparked at the age of 13. His older brother Roger was already training at the Palmer Park Recreation Center, and Ray soon followed. Under the guidance of coach Dave Jacobs, Leonard honed his skills, quickly standing out with his natural talent and hard work. Leonard's dedication bore fruit as he started to compete in amateur bouts. The teen prodigy won 2 National Golden Gloves titles, showcasing his potential on a national stage. He was selected to represent the United States at the Montreal Olympics. His crowning achievement came when he secured the gold medal, defeating Cuba's Andres Aldama in the finals. Leonard's Olympic victory wasn't just a personal triumph, it made him a national hero. Despite initially planning to retire from boxing to pursue his education and support his family, Leonard's financial needs and the allure of the ring brought him back to boxing. Leonard's ascent in the professional ranks was meteoric. His career was defined by his legendary bouts against some of the greatest fighters of this era. His fight against Roberto Duran in Montreal is unforgettable, which was mentioned earlier. Leonard's showdown with Thomas Hitman Hearns in 1981 was another high point in his career. The fight, billed as the Showdown, saw Leonard mount a dramatic comeback to win by technical knockout in the 14th round, unifying the WBC and WBA welterweight titles. After a 5-year retirement, Leonard returned to the ring to face Marvin Hagler in a bout that remains one of the most debated in boxing history. Leonard's strategic brilliance earned him a split decision victory and the WBC middleweight title. Leonard continued to fight sporadically, capturing titles in multiple weight classes and further cementing his legacy. His final professional fight took place on February 11, 1997, against Hector Camacho. Despite the loss, Leonard's career record stood at an impressive 36 wins, 3 losses, 1 draw, and 25 knockouts. Foreman, nicknamed Big George, was one of the most feared boxers in the ring because of his size, but mainly because of his notorious punching power. One right hook from Foreman and his man was most likely knocked out. With 76 wins, including 68 by knockout, and only 5 losses, Foreman deserves his place among the 10 greatest boxers the sport has known. He bulldozed Joe Frazier and Ken Norton, creating an invincible aura going into Zaire. His early career started with him dominating the Olympic Games in 1968. His incredible strength showed him worthy to set a professional career. As soon as he got that out of the way, he wasted no time and made an impact. Big George Foreman's first world title came by knocking out Joe Frazier in just 2 rounds, becoming the undisputed heavyweight champion. One of the most iconic moments in boxing history was Foreman's fight against Muhammad Ali in 1974, known as the Rumble in the Jungle. Held in Kinshasa, Zaire, Ali used his famous rope-a-dope strategy to tire Foreman, eventually knocking him out in the 8th round. This was sadly a turning point in his career. After the loss to Ali, Foreman retired in 1977 and became an ordained Christian minister. But this isn't the end of his story. He made a remarkable comeback at the age of 39, and he hadn't forgotten his old tricks. Foreman remained a formidable puncher and won the unified WBA, IBF, and lineal heavyweight titles by knocking out Michael Moore at the age of 45. This made him the oldest world heavyweight champion in history. Foreman continued to fight until 1997. He was inducted into the International Boxing Hall of Fame in 2003 and remains one of the greatest heavyweight boxers of all time. Archie Moore, a legend that had one of the longest careers in boxing history. Throughout his life, he fought the likes of Rocky Marciano as well as Cassius Clay. Born Archibald Lee Wright at Mississippi, Archie's early life was marked by poverty and hardship. His father abandoned the family when Archie was an infant, and his mother struggled to provide for him and his older sister. Eventually, they were taken in by their uncle and aunt, Cleveland and Willie Pearl Moore, to Missouri. As a young boy, Archie was drawn to boxing, but he couldn't afford gloves. Determined to not give up on his dream, he resorted to stealing a pair of oil lamps from his home and selling them to buy boxing gloves. This act of desperation marked the beginning of his boxing journey. Archie's early career was a proof of his persistence. Despite being denied a shot at the world title for 15 years, Archie continued to hone his skills and build his reputation as a formidable fighter. His defensive skills and strategic approach to boxing earned him the nickname the Mongoose. He was known for being able to hit at any unexpected moment. In 1952, Archie finally achieved his dream of becoming the world light heavyweight champion by defeating Joey Maxim in 15 rounds, holding title for an impressive 10 years. This made him the longest reigning world light heavyweight champion in history. During his career, Archie fought against some of the greatest boxers of his time, including Rocky Marciano and Floyd Patterson. After retiring from boxing, Archie didn't step away from the sport entirely. He became a successful trainer, mentoring future champions like Muhammad Ali, George Foreman, and Bob Foster. Archie Moore, the Mongoose, passed away on 1998 in San Diego, California, leaving behind a legacy of excellence and inspiration. The longest reigning heavyweight champion, Louis, ruled boxing when it stood atop the American sports hierarchy. Joe Louis, the Brown Bomber, was one of the most dominant boxers of any generation. He held the heavyweight title for over 11 years, which is a record, and participated in 27 heavyweight championship fights, another record which still stands today. Joseph Louis Barrow, known to the world as Joe Louis, grew up in the heart of the American South during a time of deep racial segregation and hardship. Moving to Detroit, Michigan, with his family, young Joe found hope in boxing, a sport that would carry him to unimaginable heights. At the Brewster Recreation Center, Louis's raw talent was quickly recognized by his coaches. His powerful punches and disciplined style set him apart, which led to him winning the U.S. Amateur Athletic Union title. Later that year, he transitioned to professional boxing, marking the start of an illustrious career. One of Lewis's most famous rivalries was with German boxer Max Schmeling. In 1936, Schmeling handed Louis his first professional defeat. But in 1938, amidst the rising tensions of World War II, Lewis faced Schmeling again. In a bout that carried more than just sporting significance, Lewis knocked out Schmeling in the first round, delivering a powerful statement against Nazi ideology. During World War II, Lewis took his fight outside the ring, serving in the U.S. Army. His exhibitions and fundraising efforts for the war became legendary. Lewis's service showcased not just his physical strength, but his unwavering patriotism and dedication to his country. After the war, Louis continued to dominate the heavyweight division, defending his title a record 25 times. However, by the late 1940s, the toll of countless battles began to show. Louis retired in 1949 but made brief comeback attempts in the early 1950s. His final record stood at an astonishing 66 wins, 52 by knockout, and only 3 losses. Joe Louis's impact on the world extended far beyond the ring. He broke barriers, becoming a symbol of hope and pride for African Americans during a time of severe racial segregation. His influence reached into other sports, famously helping to desegregate professional golf. Louis was inducted into the International Boxing Hall of Fame in 1990, a fitting honor for a man whose life and career had left an indelible mark on the sport and society. His journey from a humble beginning to the pinnacle of boxing greatness is a story of perseverance, strength, and the unwavering pursuit of excellence. The Brown Bomber's legacy is not just about the titles he won, but the barriers he broke and the inspiration he provided to future generations. Only one man has ever won titles in more than 6 weight divisions: Manny the Pac-Man Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao is celebrated for his speed and ability to compete across 8 weight classes, a feat unmatched in boxing history. From the humble streets of Kibawe, Bukidnon, Philippines, a legend named Manny Pacquiao emerged. Born on December 1978, Pacquiao's story is one of extraordinary grit and relentless ambition. As a teenager, Pacquiao stowed away on a ship to Manila, driven by a burning desire to escape poverty and make something of himself through boxing. At just 16, Pacquiao made his professional debut on January 22, 1995. The young boxer, with his all-action style and infectious smile, quickly won the hearts of Filipino boxing fans. His indefatigability and fierce determination propelled him through the ranks, and by December 1998, he captured his first major title by knocking out Thailand's Chachai Sasakul to claim the WBC flyweight title. This victory was just the beginning of Pacquiao's meteoric rise. What set Pacquiao apart was his unprecedented ability to move up in weight classes, capturing titles in 8 different divisions, an unparalleled feat in boxing history. From flyweight to light middleweight, Pacquiao's speed, power, and adaptability allowed him to dominate each new challenge he faced. He won 12 major world titles, solidifying his legacy as one of the greatest fighters ever. Pacquiao's career is dotted with memorable bouts and remarkable achievements. His trilogy of fights with Erik Morales and the battles with Marco Antonio Barrera were legendary, showcasing his tenacity and skill. In 2008, Pacquiao moved up to welterweight to defeat Oscar de la Hoya, a victory that catapulted him to global stardom. The highly anticipated Fight of the Century against Floyd Mayweather Jr. in 2015 was one of the most watched and lucrative fights in boxing history, although it ended in a decision loss for Pacquiao. Beyond the ring, Pacquiao became a symbol of hope and national pride for millions of Filipinos. His journey from poverty to global superstar inspired countless people. In addition to his boxing career, Pacquiao entered politics, serving as a senator in the Philippines from 2016 to 2022. His influence extended far beyond boxing, as he worked to improve the lives of his fellow countrymen. In 2021, after an illustrious career spanning 26 years, Pacquiao announced his retirement from boxing. He left behind a legacy of unparalleled achievement with a record of 62 wins, 39 by knockout, 8 losses, and 2 draws. His impact on the sport and his contributions to his country ensure that Manny Pacquiao will always be remembered as a true champion, both in and out of the ring. The term pound for pound entered the mainstream vernacular largely because of Sugar Ray Robinson, who threw his unparalleled speed power arsenal at the welterweight and middleweight divisions in the 1940s and 50s. Many boxing greats, such as Joe Louis, Sugar Ray Leonard, and even Muhammad Ali have acknowledged Robinson as the greatest ever. The pound-for-pound rankings were developed for Robinson, so he could get the credit he deserved. Robinson's journey to greatness began with a twist of fate. As a teenager, he borrowed a friend's amateur athletic union card, which bore the name Ray Robinson. With this new identity, he quickly made a name for himself in the amateur ranks, winning Golden Gloves titles as a featherweight in 1939 and as a lightweight in 1940. Later that year, he turned professional. Robinson's in-ring success was matched only by challenges outside the ring. He faced financial difficulties and then tried a career in entertainment after retiring from boxing in 1965, but his legacy within the sport was not diminished. Robinson was inducted into the International Boxing Hall of Fame in 1990 in the category of fighters, his contributions to boxing. It was thanks to his natural talent led with diligence that he went unbeaten in all 91 of his contests from 1943 to 1951. No one can boast a record quite like it, a testament to his unrivaled dominance in the ring. He was the world welterweight champion from 1946 to 1951 and the world middleweight champion several times from 1951 to 1960. Robinson transcended any weight class as he moved up and down against different peers, becoming the first fighter to win a divisional world title 5 times. Sugar Ray Robinson's story is one of unparalleled success, perseverance, and excellence. His legacy as one of the greatest boxers of all time continues to inspire and captivate boxing enthusiasts around the world. From a young boy borrowing a friend's ID to the unstoppable force that dominated the boxing world, Sugar Ray Robinson's journey is a testament to the power of talent and determination. One of the most skilled craftsmen in modern boxing history, Floyd Mayweather is known for his perfect 50-0 record, making him one of the few undefeated boxers in the history of the sport. His defensive style and precise counter-punching abilities have earned him a reputation as a tactical genius. The Philly shell defense or guard, which he inherited and learned from his father, made him the renowned fighter he is today. As an amateur, Mayweather won 3 U.S. Golden Gloves championships and a bronze medal at the 1996 Atlanta Olympics. He turned professional on October 1996 and quickly rose through the ranks, capturing his first world title, the WBC Junior Lightweight title, in 1998. Over the years, he moved up in weight classes, winning titles in lightweight, super lightweight, welterweight, and light middleweight. He was famously nicknamed to Money Mayweather due to his intense love for money. He later on admitted that the only reason he started boxing was to retire his mother, and that he wasn't a very bright kid in school. Mayweather's fights were not just about his victories, but also his defensive mastery. Known as Pretty Boy for his unmarked face, he was one of the best defensive boxers in history, with the highest plus-minus ratio in recorded boxing history. His fight against Oscar de la Hoya in 2007 was a major financial success, breaking pay-per-view records and boosting Mayweather's profile. Mayweather's legacy is also defined by his business acumen. He founded Mayweather Promotions in 2006 and became one of the most lucrative pay-per-view attractions in sports history. His ability to generate revenue and maintain a high level of performance throughout his career solidified his status as a boxing legend. In recognition of his contributions to the sport, Mayweather was inducted into the International Boxing Hall of Fame in 2021. The baddest man on the planet, Mike Tyson was perhaps the most feared boxer in history. He was the undisputed heavyweight champion for over 2 years. He is well known for controversial acts both in and out of the ring. Tyson has been convicted of rape and, in a fight against Evander Holyfield, was disqualified for biting a piece of Holyfield's ear off. Mike Tyson belongs to the generation following Muhammad Ali, who was his idol. His journey to greatness began in his youth, where he was sent to reform school for his involvement in street gangs. His story, of which he got involved in a fight due to his pigeon getting killed by a guy bigger than him, is infamous. From that point onwards, he knew he had a fighter in him. It was there that his boxing talent was discovered by social worker Bobby Stewart, who introduced him to legendary trainer Cus D'Amato. Under D'Amato's guidance, Tyson developed his signature peekaboo style, characterized by his head movement and relentless aggression. Tyson turned professional in 1985 and quickly made a name for himself with his devastating knockout power. On November 22, 1986, at just 20 years old, he became the youngest heavyweight champion in history by knocking out Trevor Berbick in the second round. He went on to unify the heavyweight titles, holding the World Boxing Council WBC, World Boxing Association WBA, and International Boxing Federation IBF belts simultaneously. Tyson's career was not without its setbacks. In 1990, he suffered a shocking upset loss to underdog Buster Douglas, which remains one of the biggest upsets in boxing history. In 1992, Tyson was convicted of rape and sentenced to 6 years in prison, of which he served 3 before being released on parole in 1995. Despite these challenges, Tyson made a remarkable comeback, regaining the WBA and WBC titles in 1996. However, his career was marred by further controversies, including his infamous 1997 rematch with Evander Holyfield, where Tyson was disqualified for biting Holyfield's ears. Tyson continued to fight until 2005, but his performances declined, and he eventually retired from boxing. A man that truly needs no introduction, the roars of his audience engulfed the entire world. His legacy is one of which has not been seen yet. And every boxer in the world, American or not, knows his remarkable legacy hacked into the books of history. The most famous boxer of all time, Muhammad Ali, is an Olympic gold medalist and former heavyweight champion. He was known for his overwhelming self-belief, to the point of cockiness, and for his fantastic quotes including, "Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee." He was one of the most popular and well-known people in the world in his prime, and stands he made, such as refusing to fight in the Vietnam War, which earned him a temporary ban from boxing, just added to his legend. No heavyweight could do what 1960s Ali did, his movement picking all comers apart. But let's rewind it back to the beginning. Ali's journey began at the age of 12 when he took up boxing under the guidance of Louisville policeman Joe Martin after his bicycle was stolen. He quickly rose through the amateur ranks, winning a gold medal in the light heavyweight division at the 1960 Rome Olympics. Turning professional shortly after, Ali's first major victory came on February 25, 1964, when he defeated Sonny Liston to become the heavyweight champion of the world. Ali's career was as much about his prowess in the ring as it was about his outspokenness on issues of race, religion, and politics. In 1964, he joined the Nation of Islam and changed his name from Cassius Clay to Muhammad Ali. His refusal to be inducted into the U.S. Army during the Vietnam War on religious grounds led to his arrest, the stripping of his titles, and a 3-year ban from boxing during his prime. Despite these setbacks, Ali made a triumphant return to the ring in 1970, reclaiming the heavyweight title in 1974 by defeating George Foreman in the Rumble in the Jungle in Kinshasa, Zaire. He also avenged his only professional loss to Joe Frazier in the Thrilla in Manila in 1975, solidifying his status as a boxing legend. Ali retired from boxing in 1981 with a record of 56 wins, 5 losses, and 37 knockouts. His later years were marked by his battle with Parkinson's syndrome, which severely impaired his motor skills and speech. Despite his physical decline, Ali remained an active humanitarian and goodwill ambassador until his death on June 3, 2016. There you have it, the 10 greatest boxers of all time ranked and explained. Let us know what you would like to see next in our channel. Subscribing to it would be deeply appreciated.